इस्लाम अहमदियत इस्लाम अहमदियत इस्लाम अहमदियत इस्लाम अहमदियत. Welcome viewers to beautiful Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Today we're at Mada Studios and we're going to show you some behind the scenes clips of our Jamaat's Tabligh show Islam Live. Behind me is a studio where Islam Live is taped. It's called the Impact Studio. The Impact Studio is a one-man operation where the cameraman is the talent, he's the producer, he's also the phone monitor. It's a live call-in show, so people are able to call in, and the talent does everything from sitting behind the desk. It's a real efficient setup that they have in there. So why don't you follow me inside and we'll go check it out. Islam Ahmadiyat Islam Ahmadiyat Islam Ahmadiyat Islam Ahmadiyat.
So this is a normal phenomenon. This is something that happens on a regular basis when prophets pass. And where did he take them to with the teachings of Islam? What did they rise
They
to?
were the lowest of the low. He took them to the highest of the highest.
I told you, the teachings of Islam, when he introduced to them, and that transformed them. That's what the teachings were. The teachings of Islam is to change a savage into a man.
To change a savage into a man. Well, guess what, Mr. Rashid? We got that going on right here in the cities within the United States of America. You got killings going on in every major city in the country. Killings every weekend, multiple killings. Sounds like the same kind of atmosphere here in this country.
Not as bad.
Not as bad.
Oh, wow. All right. So allow me to introduce to you one of the two people responsible for the Islam Live show. This is Mr. Rashid Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum. How did you guys start out with this program? I mean, what made you guys want to, other than the tabligh aspect of it? I mean, what made you guys want to do this program?
It was a service that this company was offering, so we just took advantage of it and came in and started putting the program together.
So by the company, you mean Mada? So it was like the service was available, so you guys just took advantage of the service available. That's good.
It's available in other places, not only here in Milwaukee. There are so many places this service is available. No one's taking advantage of it.
So right now, Milwaukee is the only city with such a program, live call-in, public access type program.
To my knowledge, it's the only one.
So can you tell me any challenges you faced with this program, as far as maybe making the program or even after you made the program, any challenges faced at that point?
No, I don't consider anything that we have been involved in as any difficult challenges. So it's just a question of just conveying that we want the public to know. So they make the facilities available, and we just take advantage of it.
So besides people converting to Islam, do people view the program and just visit the mosque?
Yes, because they were interested in what they was able to see on the television. They came to the mosque to further their education.
Oh, okay. So now, other than people coming to the mosque, what other type of public feedback have you had? Do people, like if you go to the store, do people recognize you? Are you like a celebrity now?
Well, I don't know about the word celebrity, but we do have recognition constantly. That I watch your program and people just start up conversations and okay, you said this, you said that, and they want to just continue the conversation.
So that's a good point, that even after the show's done airing, the legacy of it still lays on, where you could walk into a store and meet somebody who's seen your show and just start talking about Islam.
Yes.
So that's
so much on the streets and different places. Oh, you're the ones on television. Okay, look at when you said such and such thing. Then they want to revive that conversation to see what you said that particular time.
So now what about, okay, so we're talking about the good. Now what about the bad? Like, have you had any negative feedback? Like if you, from the public, like you go to the store and they say, hey, you're that guy from that show, and do people ever get argumentative with you at that point?
Yes. That they say that what you said is not right, and why would you say such a thing, and And they even want to threaten you physically to fight.
So that's happened where someone wants to physically wrestle and tussle with you because of what you said on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah. Once the person says that he didn't like the way that I had explained some question, and he said he didn't like the tone in which I had conveyed in my conversation, and that I should not talk to him that way because he know where I parked my car at. So I asked him, you know where I parked my car? Yes, I know where you parked your car. Then I told him, then you meet me there. If you do, that'll be the saddest day of your life.
So did he ever show up?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he would. So if you had an opportunity to change anything in this program, what would you change?
I would only change the people who we label as hecklers.
So now, what do you mean by hecklers? What's this
One who
label?
want to be funny, they call in to try to have distraction because they don't want to accept the truth, and they don't want no one else to accept the truth. So they think that they can add something to it that will make someone else disinterested in the program. So that's what we call the hecklers.
Oh, okay. So the hecklers, that's something that since day one, is that a problem that you've been having since day one, or is it something that's
Yes,
just kind
we
of...
always have this. We always have had hecklers, but the hecklers, they just wear down. And the hecklers that now, some of the hecklers at one time become friends. I met them, they say, oh, you know, yeah, I used to heckle. I'm not a heckler no more. And I like this, and then they start giving compliments.
That's good. So now, what advice could you give, being you guys have such experience in this 12 years and making this program? What advice could you give to other people who want to make a show like this, maybe in other Jamaats?
Find out what facilities are available and just take advantage of them. I mean, this is possible to have the program that we're doing in so many different states, so many different towns. But they have to find out where they're located and avail of them. It's a free thing that they can do, you know.
Now, what kind of advice could you give to a person as far as the content of the program? Because some of your program's pretty much a live call-in where you guys, you discuss the topic, people call in, and then discuss the topic a little bit more. Now, what kind of advice could you give as far as, would you recommend that type of program, or would you recommend just no type of call-in, just discuss Islam, give a lecture?
Yes. See, you don't want to get involved in where you don't have no authority. For example, you can be right or they can be right. You don't want to get yourself in an opinionated program. It's a matter of opinion. So if you talk about Islam, Ahmadiyya, then you have the upper hand, you have the advantage because it's all true. But if you want to talk about politics and these things, or whatever you want to introduce, then that is your opinion, and their opinion can be as equal as your opinion. You can be right, they can be right, or you can be wrong, or they can be wrong. But when you speak about Ahmadiyya, the true Islam, then you speak about what the teaching of Islam is. So they have to accept that teachings because they can't refute it. But opinions about this, opinions about that, you should stay away from that. Word of God. That's not to be bounded about. Nowhere in the Bible does the Bible say this is the word of God. It is from God, and God is the protector of that word. That cannot be found nowhere in the Bible.
Nowhere.
So they change the Bible ever so often. This Bible, that Bible. Take out something, put in something new.
That's what they do? Yeah, they have.
People who have a love for that, they would not even try to make anything different. Why? Because God has said, this is